Peace. Dang. Dang. Bring it back. Oh, not too far in the future. Oh, not too far in the past. Oh. Ah. Right now. I gotta moving like the Tin Man. I gotta put a little oil in the little joints. Matter of fact, though, it's more so trying to do it because my camera wasn't high enough. I was trying to get all the shoulder movement in there. But we feeling it, man. It's full moon slash blood moon slash wolf moon because the full moon in January is known as the wolf moon. Uh, so we're gonna speak on the energies of this. Basically, this lunar eclipse. You know, a lunar eclipse is basically when the the Earth is directly in between the moon and the sun. So therefore, the Earth is blocking the sun from shining on the moon directly. Because say for the full moon is when the sun is actually shining on the shine on the moon. But this one is gonna be where again the earth is blocking it, and then that's why you get that red look because you still get a little bit of that light that comes from around the earth, you know, from from the perspective of it, and that comes from around the earth and actually makes the moon red. So we're gonna get into that. Matter of fact, just some other aspects right quick, to deal with the energy of Hekate would be great right now. Hekate is known as and I spoke on this a little bit, but getting into it right quick, the Greek queen of the underworld and the moon goddess, often referred to as the triple goddess. The triple goddess have that you have that sign with the crescent moon on each side and the moon in the middle. Matter of fact, I think it's on the Empress card. Let's see right quick. Not the Empress. Because matter of fact, that's the card I actually pulled. Meaning the High Priestess. Dealing with the tarot card. Let's see right quick. If I could get to it. But the triple moon goddess Hekate, dealing with the herbs. Because you notice that no matter what you're dealing with, Wicca, voodoo, Santeria, like everything goes back to dealing with herbs. Matter of fact, I just got some Mandrake root. Mandrake root, you know, known as they have like the little myth that the plant when you pull it out from one, the root is shaped like a human, and they have the little story about pulling this root out, and they end up shrieking, like screaming, like like the root is live, and it starts to scream, and the scream is so like shrieking that it could actually kill you. You know what I'm saying? So they had the myth. Matter of fact, Ephesius Levi, that brethren, he had wrote on it, and well, I drew some pictures of it, like where they let a dog tie the dog or the animal to the root, showing you how much they didn't give a fuck about the animal in that instance, but tie the animal to the mandrake root, and then throw a stick or something and let the dog pull the root out while they got their ears covered. But long story short, it does have a little bit of a psychoactive and well, they say psychoactive and like hallucinogenic type of properties. It was used as an anesthesia. I'm saying that right? Something to like, basically kind of knock you out for surgery. Like they would mix it with wine and use it as like an anesthesia. I'm looking for this card. But yeah, mandrake root, also known as an aphrodisiac. Matter of fact, I got some from Coyote Moon out here in Baton Rouge. They have some. And you can use it for money rituals, actually putting it on your money or in wherever you carry your money at. It helps to amplify that vibration of abundance and prosperity, good fortune. But it's also mostly known as a aphrodisiac. And it had a reference in the Bible where with Jacob and his wife Rachel, they used the mandrake root, and then another, then in the Greek, there we go, it's somewhat there, but it's almost like the triple moon goddess symbol. a crescent on both sides and the full in the middle. The high priestess does represent that energy, you know, that water, that yoni, you know, balanced in between the negative and positive. You know, telling the picture of like, you know, the flow is water, you know what I'm saying? But it's a balance of the masculine and feminine energies. But, you know, now is a good time again to be doing rituals, and again, Hekate, you know, it's connected with that Hekate and Demeter. And again, not going too deep into their stories, you know, but benevolent goddess of bringing prosperity, protect men at sea, ensures that farmers and sellers reap a bountiful harvest. She is the goddess of dead, associated with ghosts, nightmares, mistress of sorcery, and summoned by incantation. And again, she personifies the phases of the moon, the waxing, waning, and you know, full / new. And again, she also represents heaven, hell, and earth. And again, she's the person to call upon when you're doing your, you know, we're doing ritual, especially around the moon. And I'm gonna get into that aspect as well, you know, because that moon energy carries a certain, you know, it deals with the depths of our emotions, you know, it deals with, matter of fact, as I got it here, unlike the sun sign, the moon shows our deeper true self, the emotional body of how we truly feel and not what we choosing to show people, you know. And even in the eclipse itself, it's like the sun being blocked by the earth, you know, because the earth is also seen as that feminine aspect as well, you know, with the body. Because matter of fact, when you think about the earth is real receptive, you know, when you think about it. And which you know, say for instance, like for seeds to go into the earth and grow out, you know what I'm saying, sunlight hits the earth, you know what I'm saying. So earth is a you know, very receptive energy. But again, the sun being blocked by the earth, you know, and creating like this little foreshadow on the emotions or on the moon, you know what I'm saying. But basically that outgoing ego being reflective of the inner emotions. So, you know, not just this ego and sun being head first, is like, nah, it's reflective of, you know, that sun sign is in connection and in reflection of what's going on truly inside of you with your emotions, you know. So it's another thing that's dealing with this full moon, blood moon, asking for that transformation into, you know, being our true inner selves and not being that vibe of like, you know, again, like that sun sign and like what we're trying to show the world, or, you know, doing things from that more egotistical standpoint. It's like being our true authentic selves. As a matter of fact, I end up doing a tarot pull and I got the Empress card. We're gonna break that down as well. But also another aspect about the moon, you know, again, we're dealing with our magic, you know, that moon energy, because that moon also affects the waters. When we think about, we are 70% water, and I talked about Dr. Emoto doing an experiment on water, you know. So this connection with water is very important, from its connection with, you know, that primordial mother energy, our space being water, you know what I'm saying. Like everything goes back to water and going to those depths, you know. I speak on the Truman Show, or like any movie where it's like the character, whenever they doing something different or trying to expand or something like that. But like on the Truman Show, he going into the waters and the unknown, you know what I'm saying. And that's another thing, that's the theme in general right now, is for us to tap more into this divine feminine energy, not in an unbalanced way, because of course we balancing out with the divine masculine, but, you know, bringing in this divine primordial mother energy, you know, that divine essence with that water flow. And again, that moon is connected with that water flow, you know, the moon affecting the tides of in the ocean, you know, the waves being more stronger the closer and the more full the moon is, you know. And you think about the terminology, the lunatics, you know, it's lunar ticks, you know what I'm saying, from going crazy with the moon, you know. And again, in most cases, the moon is connected with the timing of magic. So the time from the new moon through the first quarter to the full moon. Matter of fact, I'm quoting this from a book called Buckling is the author. And it's about witchcraft. Matter of fact, I got it right here, so I don't even have to. So if you really want to get deeper, and again, it ain't about, oh, I'm not, I'm African, or I'm this, I'm not of European descent, so that Wicca stuff ain't there, or this borrowed stuff from bruh, look, in which, let's just say if it was some chewed up information or whatever the case may be, like to where it's like, not exactly how it got passed down indigenously, tap into your inner guidance and, resonate with, because they're going to have some stuff that, again, for the most part, mostly real and not tamper with. So, take what resonate, leave what don't, but don't just throw the whole book out the window just because, it ain't from Africa. That's the whole matter of fact, we learning to let shit like that go right now. You know what I'm saying? Again, that ego, that shining light, this is what I want to show. Forget what I feel deep down inside and what I know, is touching me from a soul level. It's like trying to, that mind frame at least, But again, we tapping into these deeper, that emotional body, emotions, energy in motion. But the emotional body, matter of fact, yeah, I don't really spoke with it, the emotional body of how we truly feel and not what we choosing to show people. Oh, again, from the time from the new moon, from the time of the new moon through the first quarter to the full moon is known as the waxing moon. And this deals with constructive magic. Constructive magic is for our growth. It deals with love, success, protection, health, and fertility. So, these are the type of things that, the type of intentions we dealing with when we going into a full moon. Now, when we going from a full moon into, from the time of the full moon through the last quarter to the new moon, that's known as a waning moon, and that deals with destructive magic. And destructive magic deals with, binding spells, separation, elimination, extermination. Like, hey, I'm getting this thing out of my, my realm of reality. I'm getting rid of this. I'm downsizing in this area. So it's quote unquote destructive magic. A matter of fact, and dealing with the new moon in general, the new moon is kind of like a reflective time and going inward. I always use the analogy, we seeing the dark, new moon is the dark moon because the moon got its back turned to us, like dealing with itself, you know what I'm saying? Consorting with itself. And just in the fact of, again, dealing with, your magic in general, we have to really be, in that vibe of really, really knowing that these things can happen. Now is not the time to be doubtful, you know what I'm saying? Now is the time, and matter of fact, this energy of this lunar eclipse is connected with the Leo energy. The Leo energy deals with confidence, enjoyment, and joy in general, enjoyment of life, being childlike, being in that heart space, and that's also connected to the sun energy. And the sun energy promotes, dealing with health, pride, identity, leadership, self, fruitfulness, radiance, expressiveness. And as I say pride, again, where that Leo energy could, because every sign, and again, that's the universe, the seven. When we study the 7 hermetic principles, that, then you know how the universe is moving. Everything has a negative and a positive side to it. You know what I'm saying? It has poles. And with the pride vibe, it could get taken to a place of, taken out of place, like becoming too egotistical. And matter of fact, that's also, again, what we checking is like that sun energy, like that, what we choosing to show people. we taking that from that fake egotistical place, and I say fake, but you know, less of being what, you know, again, what society wants to see, and being reflective of, you know, who our inner, like within our body and in our emotional body, who we truly are, and letting that sun energy be reflective of that moon energy, you know, of who, you know, again, like the lunar eclipse, you know, that that of course having that, you know, sun energy, but it's reflective of, you know, that inner emotion, inner you, in essence. Now, dealing with a blood moon for sure, I did a video, I did a video on the actual blood moon itself, and then did a video afterwards speaking on like my strong, vivid, lucid dream, because I experienced the last blood moon in Santa Monica. I was riding downtown, from downtown LA, riding the bus, and I remember like looking at the moon all full, and I was thinking of the blood moon was coming the next day or something like that. And I'm looking at the moon, and all of a sudden, like, it's starting to get like dark, like darkness is coming across it. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm like, does the moon, for a second I had to like question, I'm like, wait, does the moon change phases in one night? I'm like, no, it takes days for the moon, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh shit, it really must be happening. So I went on the beach, and I actually went and go sleep on the beach. Like, I laid down, wasn't too far from the water. Then I had this dream, you know, that basically the dream was me being on the beach in the spot that I was at, you know, so it was extremely realistic. And basically, I don't know if y'all familiar with Dragon Ball Z, but I had this vibe of like Goku turning Ozura from the full moon, you know what I'm saying? And just like I just felt like I was just screaming, and energy was just flowing through my body strongly. And then, you know, as I started sitting up and screaming, like a big ass tidal wave that basically was so big it blocked the moon out and just came over me, you know. And then, man, then I woke up, you know what I'm saying? Which you know, I see that as, you know, like, hey, if you don't go with the flow of that divine feminine, you know, it's coming regardless, you know, like a tidal wave. So you better, you know, learn how to surf with this, you know, going into the unknown waters of the subconscious, you know what I'm saying? Because again, instead of dealing with what we see externally and what is already, it's like, no, we using our imagination. We tapping into some quote unquote, again, because we say nothing new under the sun, but you know, we tapping into some, you know, some new water, some uncharted territory, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, in these depths of the subconscious mind, and in the depths of our imagination and emotion, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, also connecting with that energy, again, just a strong vibe of, you know, dealing with that, you know, tapping into the deeper subconscious mind and tapping into the deeper emotional body, you know what I'm saying, who and what truly, you know, and dealing with, you know, again, making sure that we in alignment with the fact that, you know, our reality was created externally, you know, in the sun realm, in essence, you know what I'm saying, in this, you know, with the fake light projected from the sun, in essence. Like, dang, what I was gonna say. Was probably dealing with, you know, being authentic. I lost it like that, but it'll come back around. But, you know, again, just, all right, back to going into the subconscious, you know, tapping into this energy, tapping into, you know, the inner depths, you know. We're going to be confidently loving our authentic selves and stepping more into our soul purpose, you know, coming out of that that illusion of duality, you know what I'm saying, into the new earth. So that's another thing too. We're coming out of this illusion of duality, and also dealing with this Leo energy, you know, fiery energy, taking action, confidence, and becoming our greatest version. And at the same time, again, with this Leo energy, our sun energy, but in reflection of our inner moon, you know, in reflection of our emotional body and what's truly authentic eternally. And speaking of authenticity, you know, we're dealing with this 7 energy off of the strength Cause say for instance, the Empress card that I pull, the Empress card, you know, deals with the Venus energy, and the Venus energy deals with the heart. You know, so it's gonna deal with the heart chakra. Speaking of dealing with the heart chakra, that's another thing. The crystals I'm working with and dealing with, got the banded ambergris, pretty nice. Basically like chrysolite, which is green amethyst, purple amethyst, and white quartz mixed together. I'm also working with citrine. The heat treated citrine, but it worked just as good. You know, in that solar plexus, you know, heart chakra area. Also got a unique little piece of petalite, which has a little yellowish green hue to it, and got a nice little piece of damberite though. Kind of got like an inclusion in it, so that's why it's not so clear, but you know, got a little pink in it. You know, matter of fact, that petalite and damberite is 2 of the 12 synergy stones, and I have done a video on that as well, bringing up the synergy stones. You know, 12 high vibrational stones, but these definitely, you know, open up. And matter of fact, I want to say it's petalite that allows for us to. Matter of fact, petalite is a great crystal to work with right now because it allows for, and as I'm saying that, like if you don't get one beforehand, you know, the energies of this lunar eclipse is going to still be felt afterwards, so it's never too late, you know, to get your piece. But like dealing with tapping into our individuality while still recognizing and realizing we all are interconnected and have that one aspect, you know. So it's like, you know, again, how I use the body or nature, you know, for that oak tree to uniquely be an oak tree, the redwood to be uniquely a redwood, or the stomach to uniquely be the stomach, the heart to be uniquely a heart, but they're not beefing, they're in a symbiotic relationship, you know, where one is coinciding with the other in a harmonic, you know, way. Kind of like, again, just like constructive wave interference, where the golden mean ratio, whenever we in a blissful state, you know, we raising our kundalini, doing our pranic breathing, you know, becoming our greatest version and raising our vibration, the magnetic field within our torus field that spins around us, you know, starts to implode. And just like ley lines, you know, magnetic lines crossing each other in a certain little point. You know, we basically like a walking ley line in essence, you know, especially when, again, we tapped in to our higher self and, you know, growing spiritually and raising our vibration, you know, becoming like walking Wi-Fi, like a beacon of light to a certain extent. But again, you know, constructive interference is where the waves are interfering with each other as far as like coming against each other, but they're constructively doing it, meaning they're amplifying each other instead of destructing each other, instead of destructive wave interference where they're actually canceling each other out, you know. And that's when we're in these negative states, these doubtful states, these fearful states, you know. That's the whole reason why, you know, like, oh man, things are going, because you're in some type of doubtful or fearful state. So it's going to continuously, you know, seem like things are getting bad or worse or whatever, because, you know, you got to step back and step out of that realm of, you know, viewing it, you know, with pessimism and negativity, you know, and move out of that. Matter of fact, also got the pyrite, you know, good grounding. Matter of fact, my brethren is rose quartz. Gotta have that good rose quartz. Again, tap, because that's another thing too, tapping into that unconditional love space. And you start to realize, again, that it's no coincidence. You know, we talk about the lion beings, the lion of the tribe of Judah, you know, Haile Selassie being born on the same day that the Leo constellation starts on, you know. And I tell people, again, it's not for us to be going into worshiping things externally on that type of level, but at the same time realizing the interconnection and the truth that lies within, you know, these certain things, you know, like a, you know, Rastafari, you know, even, and again, we getting down to a point too of just recognizing truths in whatever, you know, even in Roman Catholic, you know, after the Bible done been tampered with, there's still some truths in there, you know, but again, you got to know what you're dealing with. Now, you know, of course, first starting off, you know, you want to know that you're dealing with some tamper with text, or again, go back to some like the Nag Hammadi Gnostic text, you know, which the first codex was given to Carl Jung. You know what I'm saying? He got like straight up a Gnostic text just given to him. You know, you got that, those papers, the Book of Enoch, the Apocrypha, you know, that got taken out of the Bible during the Nicaea Council. Because, matter of fact, again, I pulled the Empress card. The Empress card deal with the letter Dalet in Hebrew, you know, shaped like a 7. That 7 energy deals with, for one, connecting with our chakras and that Kundalini energy, you know. Sinbad selling the 7 deadly seas, you know what I'm saying? The 7 deadly seas is the 7 chakras, that these light prisms that kind of lock us down into this reality, almost like light prisons in essence, you know what I'm saying? Holding us down, projecting this light from this body, you know, those 7. And when Enoch was, you know, going to these different parts, basically of inside the body of the being that we in, or inside, you know, as above so below, going inside his body or whatever, you know, and seeing, he was like, what are those 7 twirling stars, or, you know, 7 twirling winds or whatever, tornadoes? And he's like, oh, that's the angel, I think, matter of fact, Uriel. Like, it was like, hey, these places where the sinners gotta dwell in each one of the places. And when you think about it again, because say for instance, as above so below, there's some beings within our chakras, some energies within our chakras that's in essence, you know, in some type of lockdown, you know. So it's as above so below on so many levels, and that's the same thing we doing in let's just say the root chakra of it being the earth chakra, you know, kind of like dealing with the experience. You know, and again, it's not to be seen as good or bad, you know, it's the experience we're dealing with, you know, and just remembering, though, that this is not our end all be all as far as home is concerned, you know. But, yeah, dealing with that 7 energy, you know, because of everything in Revelation, you know, the 7, what it is, not 7, I say 7 horns or 7 churches, you know, but, you know, in churches, you know, the Temple of Solomon, the 7 seals, you know, the seals of Solomon, the 7 chakras and the 72 vortexes, the 72 Goetia, the 72 vortexes within, you know, the pineal, and with that, the 72 energies within each 5 senses, or 5 hypersenses, as far as like clairvoyant, clairsentience, clear tasting, clear hearing, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, 72 times 5 is 360 degrees, you know, that ring of Solomon, and also the ring of Saturn, you know, as well. You know, and the eye has a ring around itself, you know, and also the eye is the yoni energy as well. You know, see how all that correlates. As a matter of fact, the 7 energy also deals with, so right now too, stepping more into being authentic again, and authentic within our spirituality, you know, as far as like dealing with, you know, certain information that, you know, stepping more into, you know, leveling up in the spiritual knowledge. You might want to, you know, again, step into I Ching, learn about I Ching, I King, because you never learn about that, like the Oriental divination. Or, you know, or you want to get more into astrology, more into tarot cards, more into the, matter of fact, the subconscious mind, and how the subconscious mind work on us spiritually, you know, is very key, you know. But, you know, our magic in essence, you know, what basically is magic, you know. But, you know, you might want to tap into these realms again, and again, being authentic, you know, almost, again, letting our inner emotions shine, you know what I'm saying? Again, letting, instead of the actual, just the sun, you know, and that ego perspective of us, you know, that bodysuit perspective, because this, again, our bodysuit, and this is just like a light projection of what our inner essence and vibration truly is, just like how a crystal, you know, is the physical byproduct of a vibration, you know, of a molecular structure and crystal lattice that exists vibrationally first and foremost, and then you get that physical aspect, you know. And the 7 also, again, reminding us to stop with the resisting the flow, to be more conscious of our activities, to be more conscious in general on our spiritual growth and just, in life. Again, being more authentic, you know, being in alignment with higher self. And again, just more so trusting that trusting the universe, trusting the higher self, and again tapping into being authentic and dealing with probably like a higher realm of learning all different, stepping into the occult, esoteric, teachings and stuff like that, and also in different areas that you may have not been in before, But again, the Empress card also deals with on the Tree of Life, So let's see. I got it somewhere. Wait a second, y'all. Because all these different let's see, it's from Chakma to Bina, Abina. So from Chakma across to Bina, which is from wisdom to understanding. So right now, we're moving, into that wisdom to understanding, like gaining more wisdom, because wisdom comes from acting upon the knowledge, from actually learning from our experiences and actually acting upon like all this knowledge we read. That's another thing, like actively dealing with all this astrology, all this magic books we read, and law of attraction, like actually applying these things, and stepping into it in that manner, because that's where the true wisdom at. And again, moving from wisdom to understanding or understanding, if you don't want to use the word understand, but that's the path of the again, the Empress card on the Tree of Life, from wisdom to understanding. And it's also in the Azalut area. Oh, so I didn't show that. And that deals with the archetypical world. Got the different, levels. Azalut. And then also, I don't know if I got it on here. Yod Hey, Bod Hey. Matter of fact, there's temples and stuff like that in the Gnostic papers, Matter of fact, and a lot of people dealing with the Gnostic papers like to deal with the Book of Thomas. But, it breaks down, like, again, it's basically like these movements is just the conscious movement of, of the source energy of God, and also this God as well, like the God of, like, that's over, this physical matrix in essence, going within itself and moving around, seeing the north side of itself and the east side of itself, the west side and the south side of itself, like that movement. Oh, and don't forget about the eye in the middle from the Tree of Knowledge, and that Adam and Eve, biting the fruit from the Tree of Knowledge to really gain that wisdom. And again, dealing with that Hebrew letter, Daleth, it deals with, it represents a door path or weakness or to move in or out. So, right now, again, opening doors, because also this is like a portal opening right now. And it's not that vibe of like completely now or never. But let's just say, now is, again, not the time to be pessimistic and doubtful or negative, it's to be real, how I say, optimistic and positive about the things you want to manifest. When we talk about, again, like, of course, a battery has a positive and negative side. Yes, we have negativity that pass through us from time to time, you know what I'm saying? Or we go through certain contrasts in order to create, the contrast brings us closer to what we love. We experience that contrast, so we send out, like we say, rockets of desire, like Abraham Hicks said, shooting out these rockets of what we truly want stronger whenever we're going through contrast. But again, though, we in order to manifest things and be in alignment with what you want, you gotta think of it from a positive and optimistic perspective. You know what I'm saying? And taking advantage of like these openings, and this Hebrew letter dealing with weakness, more so pointing to don't, not allowing your weaknesses to overcome you. Accept your weaknesses though, you know what I'm saying? Like love every aspect of yourself. That's another thing too, loving all of yourself, you know, your weaknesses and everything, and not, feeling shame or anything, because everybody got some type of weakness, some type of vulnerability, you know what I'm saying? Is loving and accepting that, you know what I'm saying? And but also not falling into, being your weak self, in that sense. And then the Venus energy, dealing with love, beauty, attraction, fertility, harmony, the arts, relationship, connections, and unity, in which I have underlined love, harmony, connections, and unity. Like, connecting with our reflections, again, that sun energy being a little more outgoing, but again, from the perspective of from that inner moon self being outgoing, and letting that authentic emotional body shine through, in essence, you know what I'm saying? Not, for lack of a better word, emotional body, but you know what I mean? Like, that inner us, that deeper aspect, that's why, like, which is all about your whole natal reading. Like, it's not just about, oh, what's your sun sign, what's your, yeah, people could tell, like, how you govern yourself, with, like, in most cases, most adept astrologists, all they need to really know is like your ascendant, moon, and sun, and they could kind of run it on you. But it's all those aspects that go into our being, and not just one. And again, breaking out of those aspects, becoming that 13, at number 13, graduating from those 12 disciplines, 12 disciples, you know. And also, uniquely just seeing the energy of source, line up with certain things, blood moon on Martin Luther King Day, so it's somewhat of a little connection right there. And then also, in generally, we feeling this vibe of, we know we about to leave a lot of things behind, like me eating a lot of junk food lately. I could feel like it's like my lower self, like trying to, like, man, this is the last time we gonna be eating this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, on that type of vibe, and which I have to, which I've been doing good on it though, because I've been fasting most of the day, and then I just kind of had that little go in on the little unhealthy snacks, but then I make sure I drink alkaline water, meditate, and do the work the next day. But still, going through this nostalgia, that this nostalgic energy, reminiscing about your old childhood, even eating, foods or listening to music, that, again, like, it's all right for us to, kind of have that let go vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, for the most part, we won't be dealing with a lot of these things. It's certain music that I won't be listening to, no more, in essence, you know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody pop up, and then that's all my mind anyway. But I say if somebody pop up jamming a song or something that I, don't listen to anymore, or something of that nature, But again, letting all these old things go, and it's kind of like that last call for alcohol type of feeling, so to speak. Like getting our last little bite of this shit that we know we're not gonna be eating from this point on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'm gonna miss you. You know what I'm saying? And again, we're moving from out of this realm of duality, into quote unquote new earth, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like, generally, we confidently loving our authentic self and stepping into our soul purpose and coming out of the illusion of duality and into the new earth. Because that's what we're feeling right now. Reason why we kind of having to check this little split energy in us, because again, it's that split of that old us trying to stay connected into that dual mind and trying to keep us there, when we moving into a place of understanding that there is no duality in the essence of it. Again, like looking at it more from a high perspective of, yes, you have poles, as far as like positive and negative, but it's no, two sides of one coin. You got this side of my wine. Matter of fact, I got my little wine too, made out of Hollywood. wood from a holly tree. My little moonstone on the end. My little copper. You know, one side, one side got a moonstone, one side don't. But it's all on one, the same, same wine. Matter of fact, stepping into our magic and stuff more, I was like, bro, I gotta make me a wine. So matter of fact, shout out to Brother Divine at Nicholas, Brooklyn. Brother Divine, and I think his name on Instagram is Divine Creations. But if you look up the Nicholas, Brooklyn, matter of fact, shout out to Joel Benjamin, out there in Brooklyn. Matter of fact, I definitely gotta go up there and hit up his shop. But I like using words like hit up. Gotta go to his shop, and vibe up in there. But I saw, the brethren posting some wines, some copper wines, copper all the way through for abundance, and that brethren do some amazing work, so you might wanna check that out. So again, stepping more into that realm, and again, saying goodbye to the old us. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Boy, good. That's the whole vibe right now, y'all. Peace. Happy now. Now's a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Again, moving forward. Confidence. Uniqueness, authenticity. Stepping into that heart space of unconditional love, the middle spot. I figure I still got my little picture right quick while I'm sitting here. Matter of fact, there's also 3 chi centers. Well, not really this area. It's more like the navel area, where the dancing hand at, but in the middle, in between that heart. Also, like with pH levels, balancing the pH. Middle. Matter of fact, because even the word, pyramid, pira meaning fire, mid meaning middle, that fire in the middle, the pyramid. Again, peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. Staying out of our thoughts. If our thoughts is not relevant to the now, then it's a hindrance. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be in the moment fully. Fully being in the moment. Not thinking about, oh man, what I'm gonna do to start my YouTube channel, what I'm gonna do to start my business, what I'm gonna do. Like, be in the now. Like, all right now I'm now. What can I do in this moment? You know what I'm saying? Not being all in your thoughts. Peace, peace again.